That is a pretty good wave. 2 brushes, 3 steps. You watch how I did that now. Because after that, we go on and do a figure, and then we've really got one ripper painting. So I'll make a start by just marking in the horizon, and that's just mixing a little bit of cobalt blue and light red, perhaps a dab of yellow ochre in there to give me a sort of a deep grey. This is really the first step. So I'll mark in where the basic block colours are. And waves consist of many colours, but the main thing is they pick up sand and they roll that sand up and through the water. So what I've got there is some yellow ochre to sort of indicate that pickup of the sand by the moving water. And I'll put a darker line underneath it to sort of ground it down. You notice that picks up the colour of the clouds as well, so it's important in a painting to repeat and echo other colours. And now we've got a mix of yellow ochre and cobalt blue, and we've got some green, which sort of indicates the top part of the wave and showing its formation, it's rolling down. So I'm going to have an undulating form of the wave. It'll pick up and drop down as it rolls around. And now I'm doing a little bit of cobalt blue and white and just indicating where there's a bit of a foamy area. In other words, the wave's already crashed over here and we're going to have a lot of foam there, a lot of splashing water. So I'm putting the foundation down for that. So that's really about where we're up to for step 1. We've got our basic colours in, and now we can start forming up and shaping the waves or many waves. There's waves behind there, slightly to the distance over there, and I'm sort of just capping those, putting a little bit of light blue. And that light blue is from the sky, of course. So, and now there's some distant waves there, so a little bit of that tinkled around the background there. Again, it's just a little bit of cobalt blue and white, and I'm tapping it on with that fan brush of mine. And now I'm sort of shaping this foamy area on the left-hand side. Again, cobalt blue and a little bit of white. And we need to sort of energise areas in a painting. And so by laying a sort of a nice sort of bluey foundation there, I've already got myself a form that I can shape with some light. And later I'll come back in with some deeper blue and give it a little bit more shape and a little bit more meaning. And a little bit more of an important suggestion. One of the things in painting that's important is to be able to use a brush in many different ways. That's why I like the fan brush, because it really is perhaps the most versatile brush I've ever used in the whole 40 years of painting. It seems to be able to do anything with that brush. Like I turn it one way and I get an edge. I'll turn it another way and I'll get a broad brush. I'll flip it around and I can get sort of circles with it. It's really the most versatile brush I think ever been made. Here we go. Now we're starting to shape the top of this lifting wave. Now we can see there that we've got the foamy part on the left, it's already crashed over, and then to the right where I am now, we're sort of shaping out that lift in the wave before it rolls over. Some heavy highlights now coming in, showing where that water is lifting and picking up the light from above. So we're on pretty much white paint there. Well, painting's about contrast. And if we need to get the message out, we go very light and very dark. And now we get really serious. Out comes the knife. Now this is stage 2 is what we're doing now. We're shaping. So the knife's a really powerful instrument. And when my fan brush sort of reaches its limit, I head for the knife. And I load that up, and then I power that paint onto that canvas. Get it on the edge of the knife and then just push it on the canvas. Don't be scared about using the knife. If you need to get the message out about what you're painting, and you're not sure how to do it, then get that knife, get brave, stand back, and then lay it on. And then quickly retreat and see what effect that had. And now I'm going to fill in the foreground. So I'm into the last part of the stage now. This is stage 3. So stage 3 is sort of filling in the wet sand and the little waves that roll up the beach. And so we've got some wet sand there, and now we've got some dry sand with a thin layer of water on top of it. So it's not really dry there. But as we get more down towards the bottom, of course, it gets dry. But what we've got there is the sky above being reflected by that very thin run of water sitting on the sand. And, of course, you've got little rivulets, little runs of water that cross over each other there as the waves crash and they run up the beach. And these are all important in a painting because they detail what happens in front of a wave, because we need to be able to have that in our paintings. Now I'm going back into that foamy part with some deeper blue spots, just to give it a little bit more body and to shape it a bit more. Bring it into line with the other crest of the waves in the middle of the painting. So we need to darken some of these areas and just give them a little bit more power. And at the front here, we need to put some little waves, little runs of water that clip up there. And some little spots of splashing water on the top of that foamy area. That's all important. All the little details are really important in a painting. Wherever you think there might be something happening, take the gamble and put it in there. Don't be too shy about effects in a painting. The more effects you can put in there, the more it'll invite the reader or the viewer to look at what you're doing and to say, oh, he knows his stuff. He's obviously looked at a wave. Even just up there, they're important, the little caps. Make those caps, make the paint just sit on there so that when they're under light, they really just shine. And I'm going to tidy this up a little bit now, put a few highlights back up in that cloud, tie it together with the colour below and the extent of detail. So I'm going to just touch parts of the cloud and accentuate the highlights here and there. Give it a little bit more meaning in the sky, because we've got a lot of detail in the waves now, so we need to sort of up the detail in the sky a little bit. And that's what I'm doing now. And that's just a liner brush I'm using. So I basically use two brushes, a fan brush and a liner brush, and that's it for me. I don't need to use any other brushes. And there we go. 3 steps, 2 brushes, 3 colours. And of course, titanium white.